That's it, guys. We just went from 65 feet to reeled up nice and clean in a very usable space in what do you think? 5 seconds or so? 10 seconds maybe? So that was easy. We bought a electric extension cord version of this Goodyear. It's hanging on the wall over there. About how long ago, babe?
6 months.
About 6 months ago. And it's been rocking and rolling. We haven't had a single issue with it. It pulls out just fine. It retracts just fine. It's been very, very convenient. And otherwise, we would have had to get an extension cord, do the whole unroll thing, and roll it back up when you're done. You guys know the drill. So I would highly recommend getting one of those as well. But because we had good luck with that, we settled on this Goodyear brand of the air hose reel, and it's a spring-driven air hose reel. Like I said, it's ratcheting. It's just like the extension cord that we have. This rat's nest over here of an air hose, we're always fighting with this thing getting tangled or getting caught on stuff while we're working. And then of course, once you're done with the job, rolling that up nice and neatly isn't hard, but it takes time. And the ability to just pull the hose out, and whether it's airing up a tire real quick on the farm or framing something, we always have a need for air out here. So this is going to significantly reduce the time to do that. So we're excited about that. These are a little tricky to install. The install instructions aren't the greatest, but it is easy to install, and I'm going to show you guys that. First thing I want to show you guys is there's 2 screws. They're only on one side. I've got it flipped over so the screw holes are facing up. These 2 screws have to come out for you to take this bracket off to mount it. Some people complain online in the reviews of how difficult this thing is to mount because they're trying to mount this thing with an angle drill or something like that because there's so little clearance here. Well, it's designed for this to be removed and then put back on, and all it is a couple of simple Phillips head screws. Once these 2 screws are removed, there's plastic end caps that simply pull out. You can see that's how they were being held in place. So these pull right out. Now you've got your bracket free. We're going to use a lag screw that I had, the spare parts. This comes with mounting gear, but it's not ideal. It's basically 2 bolts and a nut. Most people are going to be mounting this to a wall, so your lag screw is going to be your best bet. So I just lag screw and a washer. Just in case you guys notice on the video, I did not have another lag screw this size, so I had to use a smaller wood screw. But as long as that top lag screw's got a really good bite, it's plenty of strength to hold this whole thing up. This bottom hole basically just stabilizes the whole thing, but it's not going to go anywhere. The next part is simply slide it in place. These are keyed, so they only fit in one way. Line up the hole, and it should slide right in. The bottom one's a little bit more of a pain to get lined up. Got it in there. The weight of it, leaning forward, holds these in. Otherwise, you could just do one at a time. And we're just going to put the screws back in. Make sure not to over tighten these screws because it is plastic, so you just want them on there firmly. Got it on the wall, guys. The next thing to do is to hook up this leader hose. The lead end on this is not very long. It's only 3 feet. You can buy extra ones online, or you can use a spare hose if you have the right connectors. If you want to extend this lead, all you have to do is unscrew these. This cover comes off and the fitting is right behind here. So it's just your standard 1/4 inch NPT fitting. So you can replace this with whatever you'd like. We mounted it so close to our air compressor because it was in a good spot, and I wanted it over here near the edge of the shop so that we could pull it out as far as possible. So I've got plenty of room for it here. Real quick, guys, Sungator 16-piece coupler and plug kit. I'm going to put the link down below for you guys. These are great couplings. We've been using them for a while. Look how easy they come apart, snap together. You can do this one-handed job. If you've ever had to wrestle with the cheaper brand or cheaper quality of these are worth every penny. And like I said, they don't cost that much anyway. So y'all go check these out if you use air around your farm at all. I do like to use Teflon tape on these because it gives you just a little bit better sealed. It's not needed, but I do like to use that. We're going to attach this 1/4 inch NPT male to 1/4 inch NPT female end adapter. For anybody with the same setup, the lead end is 9/16 and these fittings are your standard 5/8. Thin layer of Teflon tape. Make sure it's not covering the hole for obvious reasons. You don't want debris in there. Get it on hand tight. Nine 16ths here, 5/8 here. That's it. For your hose end, 9/16ths here, just like before. 3/4 inch is what these female couplings are. Same thing with this guy, is just a thin layer of tape. Make it hand tight. We've got our lead with a connector on it. We've got our hose end with a connector on it. All we've got to do is attach it. Let this thing pressure up. Leak check it. You can use a combination of water and a little bit of soap. Look for bubbles, that kind of thing. I just let it speak for itself. If I can't hear air, if I can't feel air, the air compressor will let me know anyway, because we won't be using it and the thing will kick on. You guys know how it goes. So if there's any type of leaks in this, usually it just means you need to cinch it down just a little bit more. They are brass, so don't over tighten it. I've got this pulled out almost all the way. There's maybe a foot left on the reel. It pulled out just fine with very minimal effort. If you guys look how far this thing stretches, you can see for our needs this is going to be more than sufficient. These work on a ratcheting system, so pull it out nice and softly, let it go, it's going to lock into place. When you're ready, you just kind of yank it a little bit, not real hard, and just follow it back in. That's it, guys. We just went from 65 feet to reeled up nice and clean in a very usable space in what do you think, 5 seconds or so, 10 seconds maybe? So that was easy. One thing I'll say is when we were reeling it up, every now and then it has a tendency to get caught because it's not reeling perfectly even in the reel. All it took to rectify that was just to pull it out just a little bit more and let it keep going. But man, this thing feeds very nicely. It's got good pull to it, but it's not enough to where it would just kind of zip up like a tape measure or something like that. Very easy. This thing's going to be very useful. I would highly recommend you guys. All right, guys, I had to bring Beautiful out from behind the camera because she's too pretty to be behind the camera, and I'm gonna let her send you guys off on this video today.
Hey, I just want to make a real quick note. Ladies, this is simple enough that you can do it. I could probably do it myself. It's just I got a handsome husband that can do it for me. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below, and we're also going to put both links down below so you can check both of those out, and we'll see you on the next video.